Ah! Come on! Ah, my legs! Ah, no. We'll come back to that in a minute, but first, my target is to lose 5.5 kilos, 12 pounds, in 6 weeks to get somewhat thinner and fitter for Christmas. At the same time, I'm also looking to increase my FTP from 272 to 300. So how have the first few days gone? Well, when I weighed myself on day 4, I was really happy because I'd achieved a weight loss of 1.4 kilos, and that means I'm down to 87.1 kilos. Let's see how I managed to do that. So what did the week look like? Monday was the ramp test, which you've seen in the first video. If you haven't, there's a link in the description below. And also that night was an 1.5 hour yoga session. And during the yoga session, I actually burnt over 400 calories, which I was quite surprised it was as much as that. Tuesday, Zwift Racing League. Challenging course, it was everything bagel. I was racing as a C group rider, and a little bit later on in this video you'll be able to see exactly how I got on. And just to give you a little bit of a sneak preview, make sure you stay until the end. On Wednesday I had a rest day, and on Thursday I did a kettlebell session. Now, I've not done kettlebells hardly ever. I think I've done it once since I bought some, so this was an opportunity to actually use them in anger, as you might say. And I found a great YouTube channel with a guy called Alex, and you'll see all about that in a moment. And Thursday evening I did another ride in Rouvy, which was a workout which was called Fat Burner, and seeing as that's what we're here to do, that's what I did, and actually it's a great workout. So let's start with the kettlebells and then we'll get on to the race.
Welcome to today's workout, which is an epic kettlebell upper body build in 30 minutes. Okay, let's kick things off in a quick warm-up. Come down onto your hands and knees into a cat and cow position. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and roll into a cat position.
I'm just floating. I'm filling into the...
This time, single arm, row, place, switch. Let's go, row, place, knees or standing, doesn't matter where you are. Let's finish our 30 seconds in a child's pose. Open up those knees, drop the chest, reach the fingers forwards. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up so you don't miss it and so you don't lose it. You can come back and repeat.
Bloody hell, that was tough. So we're going to do the ultimate warm-up before we do our ZRL race on Uber Pretzel today. Designed by Bradley Wiggins, apparently. So it was the usual fast start off the front, and actually racing for CYE Racing, the three of us set off in the first 3 places. I mean, that didn't last more than about 100 yards, but then we were on everything bagel for this particular race, so 34.3 kilometers long, and this is a particularly challenging route, I think, because we've got the New York Com twice. We've got it reverse on the way out and the normal way around, let's say, on the way back. And there was also 2 sprint sections in this race. So what we'll do is we'll jump ahead to that first Com and we'll see how we got on. So as you know, I'm a bit heavier than I want to be at the moment, so my watts per kilo is obviously suffering from that, and that means that climbing really isn't my strong point. And you can see there's some quite aggressive parts of this climb, 13, 14, 15%. But managed to stay broadly with the pack. So here we are, sort of in the top 10 as we get on to the latter part of the climb. And there's a few people that have gone on a little bit ahead, but for the majority of us, we're all still keeping fairly close to each other as we get up to the top of the New York Com. It's a tough old one. You can see the watts are, relatively high. 300, 400, 500 watts as we're going up, but at the top I was in 6 and I was very happy with that. So let's skip forwards and see how we got on with the sprint section. So the pack's reformed, and we were talking about this as a team earlier, and basically the sprint section is just after this small climb. So the idea was to go relatively early, get the power up on the little uphill before the sprint, and then try to push through on the downhill as you go into the sprint and see if we could get as many first across the line and fastest through segment points as possible. So I am pushing here. We're up to about 750, 800 watts. There's 3 people ahead of me as we come up to the line, and I push and push and push, and I am particularly pleased with that because I got maximum FAL points. So sprint's gone well, climb's gone well. It's all looking like it might be going a bit too well. Let's see how we get on here, because this is another little lumpy bit, let's say, before we get to New York Com Reverse. And 2 of my teammates, I was on Discord talking to them, basically decided that they were going to try and push off here, but I didn't have the legs to go with them. But you can see them going now at the front, and they are pulling away from the rest of the pack. So I decide that with my current fitness and my current weight, I'll just try and stay with the rest of the pack. But you can see very quickly both Joe and Gert and a couple of other people have gone off the front. So they get to the top of this climb, and actually by that point you can see they're already up to 5 seconds ahead of where we are. They're going to be a little bit further ahead than that. If we cut forwards, we can see that Joe is now up to 14 seconds ahead. Gert's sort of somewhere between us and him, and then the rest of us are all still stayed in this group together. So as we get up to the top of this little push, the pack has split, and it stays split until the end. So we've now got a little downhill, a few ups and downs before we get to the next climb, which is the New York Com. And let's see whether or not I manage to stay with this group of riders all the way there, and then how I get on as we go up the Com. So here we are approaching it. Again, it's a vicious climb, 14-15% at the start. You can see the watts are down quite a lot, but I tried to pace myself and just stay with this group. The leaders are more than a minute ahead of us now, so there's no catching them. But what I wanted to try and do was get as high a possible finish for myself and for the team. So staying with this 3 riders that you can see in front of me was really all I was trying to do. So it leveled off on this flat bit here, a little wipe on my face with the towel, and then push on for the last little bit before we get to the top of the Com. And it's a little bit spread out, but they're not a million miles ahead of me. So I pushed on a bit and managed to pull them back. So let's go to the sprint finish. I'm currently in 6th. You can see that there's basically 3 of us here, and I've got Hunter in front of me and Gangettino behind me. And essentially I thought at 300 meters I'm going to go. So here we go, and I'll let you listen to me now. Come on! Oh, my legs! No. Yay! Oh, cramp, cramp, cramp. Oh my God. Oh God, I got cramp in both my thighs. Yeah, that hurt. That hurt a lot. At one point, I was wondering whether or not I'd have to try and find my phone to phone my wife to come and help me off the bike. So you can't say I haven't put the effort in. In the next few days, I'll post the next video, which will look at what I've done for the rest of the week and also how my first week results have been. I'll also include nutrition information because I've been using MyFitnessPal to count my calories. And then we'll be into week 2 on our journey towards losing 5.5 kilos and increasing our FTP. So, are you following along? maybe I'll do some live workouts and you can join me. If you'd like to do those, drop a note in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe the video, it really helps. And if you missed it, here's a link to the day one video from a few days ago.